Oh, goodness. What's up, everybody? Let me turn the brightness of this light down because that's blinding on the camera. Welcome to Copper Kettle Farms Live. I kind of did this one last minute because we were busy trying to get Donald off to work, and then we got we've been obsessed with Yellowstone. So we're looking up properties in Montana, which, you know, who can really afford to live in Montana? But there you go. So I'm gonna give people a few minutes to hop in because, again, I did not advertise this at all, but that's fine. It's a low-key night. I'm gonna go ahead and start posting it around while people hop in. I do see we've got a couple people in already, so thank you for hopping in on our last-minute live, which sadly does not include Donald because he just left for work because he is still on midnight shift. And he does not get time off right now. Hey, Teresa. Welcome, welcome. Hey, I'm just posting around real quick that we're live last minute. Oh, Donald's here. So we've got Donald and we've got Teresa. Awesome. So yeah, Donald is still on midnight shift, so he is not going to be in the lives probably for a while. I say that the only reason he's not in the lives is because he's not allowed to take time off right now. They are that shorthanded at work. So, you know, it is what it is. He literally was pulling out of the driveway as I was going live. So he's like right down the street at the moment. Oh yeah, Donald was still here, and it was like 8:58, and then he's like, "Well, I gotta go to work," and I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go live, so go away." And I thought about it. I was like, "Do I really want to go live? I kind of just want to work." And then I was like, "No," because I haven't been able to put out a video again this week, so here we are. Hey, Unpaved Explorer, how have you been? I'm just posting it on my Facebook real quick. I kind of like being in the office simply because it allows me to have another monitor up if I want it. I can kind of multitask. But we have not had any more trespassers. I will say that because we were discussing that last week. We were talking about kind of like gun laws and trespassing in general, safety, and all of that. We have not had any more trespassers, which is good. We have egg customers, but oh, I see you posted it on. Yep. Yes, we are doing well. Hey, Frontier Survival. So yes, Donald is at work. I am going to be doing the lives by myself for a little bit until he can get his days off again. I did a calculation of how many days he has off. For the entire month of August, he has 3 days off. That's it. Just 3 days. I think his only day off since 2 weeks ago will be this coming Wednesday. But the issue with working midnight shift and days off, you don't really get a day off. Because what do? You get home at 8 a.m. You don't have to go to work that night, but you sleep during the day. You can't do anything during your day off at daytime. You can stay up at night, but everybody else is asleep. And then the next morning you have to go and sleep during the day so you can go to work the next night. So days off when you're on midnight shift don't exist. You just get to stay up all night by yourself. So, yeah. Now, I will say that the Gettysburg job, we did email them Friday. And they have not made a decision yet. So that's good news because that's the one we want because that's the one that's only like half a mile down the street. But in the meantime, you guys are stuck with me. Kind of boring, I know. But as far as what else has been going, honestly, it's just been crazy busy. I'm keeping the same schedule as Donald. So when he's working 7 days a week, 12-hour days or whatever, I'm working 7 days a week, 12-hour days. So like this whole weekend, we worked every day. I worked yesterday until 11 o'clock at night. And after this live, I'll be doing a little bit more work, probably till 11 at night, and then go to bed and get up and not work again tomorrow. So it's been rainy, so there's not a whole lot to do. And honestly, when Donald is having a sleep during the day, like when he gets home from work, he does his chores and goes to bed. And then when he gets up in the evening, he's tired. So there's really not a whole lot of projects going on right now, which is kind of frustrating because we have like an old chicken coop we want to tear down. We want to move chickens. We want to start expanding the goat pen. And it's like, unless we start working at night, when do you have time to do that stuff when you work midnight shift? You know what I mean? Which I remember when I was growing up, my grandfather, he used to work in one of the steel mills down in Baltimore, night shift. And then he would farm sometime during the day. I just don't know how they did it. I'm going to assume because he had 7 kids that, you know, like my dad, they did a lot of the farm work. And then Mama, my grandmother, she did a lot of the farm work. She was always running the tractor and stuff. But me trying to have a business at the same time makes that difficult. So I feel like nowadays, like I could certainly do things to run the farm, but then I wouldn't have a business. We wouldn't have that income. So I don't know how you do it nowadays. Having 2 full-time jobs and running a farm and working midnight shift, it's just a lot. Skinner Farms, Donald, I'm sure misses you a lot. But so, you know, a lot happened this week. We got some really massive flooding. I actually got some footage of the flooding the other day. So I'm going to be putting together a vlog with just some video snippets throughout the week. Donald kind of explaining the new pasture we set up before he switched to midnight. I'm hoping in September he'll get some relief with his schedule. So we'll get some more videos out of what we're doing here on the farm. It feels like it's constantly changing. I remember when we were going to do like this hugelkultur and traditional bed versus Ruth Stout method. And now we're just going to have raised beds and sheep. So it feels like it's constantly changing. I don't know if any of you guys ever go through that. Like you have these massive plans of what you want to do with your property. And then a year later, you're like, you know, we're going to do something completely different. But that's kind of that's kind of what we do. I'm trying to think what else we got going on. Work. That's about it. Oh, I did want to mention, I posted this on Facebook for those of you that have me on Facebook. I'm going to put it in the chat too. My business, there's a link here. This is a Google Drive folder. My business is going for, it's like a local award called Pick of the County. And they don't have a category for marketing or web design or anything like that, but they do have a category that I could go for called Excellent Customer Service. So if you guys wouldn't mind, if you click that drive, there's either a ballot that's already filled out for people that don't know the businesses around here, but you can put your name and email on the form in PDF format, and then just email it to the email listed in the instructions to vote for my company. And you have till the 27th. So if you guys would be willing to do that for me, just to give me a couple extra votes, that would be awesome. Skinner Farm says, oh, wrong one. I'm clicking around. I did the same thing this year, changed almost everything I had planned. Yeah, I mean, that's what it feels like. You can't consistently keep up with your plans on the farm. And Donald's right too. Plans evolve as you gain more experience and knowledge. Yes. MP Heritage, welcome, welcome. Big Bear, hello. How have you guys been? Did you guys get hit with some tornado? You guys did get hit with some tornado-like weather recently. Dude, I don't know if you guys saw. It was on TikTok. So let's see if I can grab the link real quick. Tennessee got hit with like massive flooding. Did you guys see the video of Loretta Lynn's ranch? Like, it's massive, massive flooding. I'm surprised her building is still up. Let's see if I can find it. But you guys were okay, right, Big Bear? Honestly, I have not. I'm so behind on marker right now. We've been putting so much work into getting things. Scared the crap out of you and the girls. That sucks. I think I saw messages on like Facebook, but that was it. I might not have saved the video. Oh, I did save the video. So 𝙎𝙤𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙖 Ranch. I'm going to grab the link and see if I can throw it here in the chat. I might have to do it. I'm going to message the group here so I can post it in the link. So yes, there was a bunch of flooding in Tennessee. And this is what happened to 𝙎𝙤𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙖 Ranch. If you don't have TikTok, you don't need it to view this. If you click that link, you can see some of the flooding at 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙬 Ranch, and that's a bit crazy. The roof of my shop almost came off. Oh no. Skinner, all my summer plants have turned into fall plants. You know, I don't know what you want to call it, but it feels like, does it feel like there's a shift in the seasons to anybody else? Because it feels like it to me. It feels like, well, not only is summer hotter and winter colder, but it feels like spring lasts longer, or maybe summer comes earlier and lasts longer. Like it's different, and I don't really like it. Thanks to this flooding, my fall plants have come next. Yeah. Wait, where are you guys located? I forget where you guys are. Heritage. Honestly, we're the same. We did so bad with our garden this year. I mean, we have stuff, but it's nowhere near where we would want it to be. And I'm not really that worried about it, because here's the thing with a garden. People get really obsessed with having weeds and stuff, and I get it, because you don't want to like overcrowd your vegetable plants or anything. But regardless, whatever you do with your garden, you're growing something to feed somebody. Whether you're feeding bees and birds, or like for us, what we're going to do is we're just letting the garden go, and then we're going to move the goats over there and feed them this fall for a little while. I'm growing feed for something. It just might not be for me. Mama Z says, yeah, we went from hot to hot as hell. The heat is getting to Robin. She's become more physically violent towards me. MB Heritage says North Carolina. Okay. So you're not that far from me, honestly. I mean, I used to, when I was married to my first husband, I lived on the naval base in Norfolk. So that's right on the border there between Virginia and North Carolina. And that was 5 hours south of where I'm at now. Well, no, that was when I was in Westminster, but honestly, the heat's awful. Like, I honestly feel like we just need to plant as many trees as possible, because I feel like the more trees I have, the less miserable I am, because of the shade, the absorption of all the heat. Maybe not the absorption, the canopy of all of the heat. So my goal is to plant as many trees as possible, especially when I'm in this room. Like, there's no insulation, and I've got a black metal roof. So when that sun hits, like, it's a freaking oven in here. So I'm like, give me a tree. I told Donna I want a bunch of trees. I want something blocking all of this sunshine in this she shed. We don't have AC, so it's been rough this year. Oh, see, I didn't know you guys didn't have AC. You have it in the studio, though, right? Because I've got that white box right there. Where's my finger? That's my AC I bought for in here, because it was just too much. But when it's like 90 to 100 degrees, I have to sit right in front of it on the sofa that's behind me. I can't sit over here. Like, it's gross. Trees and cover the ground with grasses. Look at Donald throwing in the little tidbits about soil. Like he knows something. Hey, Woob's Head Forge and Farm, welcome. Do you have window units, Jason? Do we need to like send you some window units? Because we don't have AC either, but we do have window units. They don't work that great, but they make it tolerable. Woob's Head Forge and Farm has baby goats, by the way. If you guys are big into baby goats, which I am, I've been obsessed with the pictures they've been posting on Facebook. If you love baby goats, you should check them out. We have nothing but an attic fan. Sounds like we need a Big Bear AC fund going. Because that would be miserable. And being in Georgia, no, sir. Not me. I'll tell you what, guys. We have been obsessed with the show Yellowstone. Like, we just binge watched it last week before Donald wasn't allowed to have days off. And for those of you that have been watching it, season 4 is confirmed to come out in November. But we were like, all right, let's see how much land is in Montana. And we were legit looking. There's like we would still need a lot of money that we don't have right now. Like, the goal is obviously to get it. But I tell you what, there's a place on a Crow reservation over there. And obviously these are poorer counties. So I don't expect that jobs are going to be easily obtainable there unless you have online work. But they've got a couple thousand acre places for sale up there that we were looking at. And honestly, I wouldn't mind moving more north. If the weather's going to continue the way it is, like, I love Pennsylvania, and I certainly wouldn't mind moving more north in Pennsylvania, but I'm thinking of moving more north. Well, hopefully soon, because it's already the first harvest season. Maybe in September it'll start cooling down for everybody. And we just got a couple more weeks to get through this heat, and then I think we're all going to be sipping our pumpkin spice lattes. Actually, I prefer apple cider, but I think it'll be better off for everybody. I love Yellowstone. Yes, I'm obsessed. Did you know you guys can actually stay at the ranch? It was bought in the 50s, I want to say. It was built in like the aughts or 20s or 30s or something like that. But then it was rebought in the 50s. It's like a 2,500 acre ranch. And the owners call it the Chief Joseph Ranch. It's actually based off of the Nez Perce tribal leader, Chief Joseph, which you hear about in a lot of the Native American history. But you can rent 2 of the cabins. You can't rent the main house. Like, it's an actual working ranch. It used to be a bed and breakfast, but when the owners bought it in the 50s, they decided they didn't want to do bed and breakfast anymore. But you can rent out, if you're familiar with the show, you can rent out Lee's cabin, which I think is considered where John Dutton stayed when he moved out of the house. And then you can stay in Rip Casey's cabin, whoever the guy that leads the men on a ranch. What is he called? The trail boss or whatever. You can stay in that cabin. Now it's like $1,200, $1,500 a night, but I thought that was interesting. We are all well. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Hey, How to Garden, Down Under Farm and Forage is here. Southern Blessed is here. I feel blessed to have you guys here. Oh, Foreman. So you guys know. I don't know. I never grew up on a ranch. I was talking to my dad the other day because we were watching Yellowstone, and they had they had cattle. I mean, they probably had, I don't know, 100 head of cattle or whatever. And growing up, my grandfather probably had, I don't know, 20 head of cattle or something. And I asked Dad, I was like, as much as you see these guys using horses to move cattle around to different paddocks and stuff like that, I'm like, how did you guys do it? Because we never had horses. We had like a farm horse that the kids would ride, but it wasn't like a working horse. Apparently they're just like, we just did it by hand, just walked them where they needed to go. Hey, Urban Bucket Homestead. We got Matt in the house. Yeah, we just kind of doing a very low-key live today because we've just been too busy to even plan anything. And again, Donald's at work, so you guys just get to talk to me. It's not that exciting. But I actually sat down and we were butchering chickens last weekend. So I was having like a conversation with Dad about kind of the history of why my grandfather raised Black Angus and all this other stuff. And apparently he used to run Herefords, but he read in a magazine that Black Angus gives more beef or something like that. So he switched to Black Angus, and then that's what he did for like the next 30 years or something. So I think if Donald and I ever get cows, and actually there's a property for sale behind us that we were thinking if we get some funds to buy, that might be enough for a couple cows. We're thinking about getting Dexter cows. Yeah, Big Bear. That's what my dad was saying, that, you know, and honestly, I was thinking about that. The goats are the same way. If they're hungry and they know it's about to be feeding time, they'll go wherever you want as long as there's feed. So, hey, Bomber Steve. You were going to Herefords. What do you have now, Big Bear? I know you have cows. I just don't know what breed. I thought that Herefords were kind of like long to get to the point. Like they were more expensive because they were so big. It just took them longer to get to the butchering point. But I honestly don't know. I'm not a cow person. But I think Donald and I were going to go for Dexter's. And if we did get that property behind us, I don't know if you're still on, Donald, but wasn't that like 20 acres in addition to what we've got now? Is that right? You might know. Now, here's the other thing, and that's kind of a question for you, Jason. You're like the predator guru. I was talking to Donald about, like, if we did buy that property and we did get cattle, like, we don't have a whole lot in this specific area that would be considered predators. Maybe a bear, coyotes. I don't think we have any wolves. And then Pennsylvania definitely has mountain lions. I have not seen any around here. But what would you consider good protection for cows that are not close to the house, I guess? Matt says, doesn't matter if we're just chatting. We just want to see you. I miss you guys too. I feel like, I'm glad I got to see you guys last month for crabs, but I feel like it's going to be a while before I see you guys again. So Donald says, yes, 20 acres. Okay. Big Bear says they take about the same amount of time. Herefords are just more affordable. Okay. It's good to know. Bomber Steve says, if you want a great natured beef cattle, can't recommend Murray Greys enough. Awesome breed. They have been imported into the US and UK in the 70s. Oh, okay. A big bull. Big bull. Yeah. I'm always worried because it's not too far off a highway. Like if he got out, how that would go. I'd have to make sure I have really good fencing. Yeah, we're kind of sticking to the smaller breeds of animals here just because, like, I don't know if you guys saw, and actually I'll put the picture up real quick. The sheep that we're thinking about getting is a French breed, and nobody carries them in the United States except 2 farms because you can't ship them from France. They had to they're breeding them up to a more purebred, but they're called these 𝙖𝙧𝙤𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙖. Let me see if I can get them up here. There we go. And do you see how short they are with those ducks? I mean, they're like as tall as a chicken or a duck. They're really small sheep. But for the size they are, they give apparently they give like the most wool as any other breed for the size that they are, which I thought was interesting. But they're so cute. They're cute little 𝙖𝙧𝙤𝙧𝙧. I think that's how you say it, 𝙖𝙧𝙧. Kind of sounds like croissant. Croissant. A good bull would keep your predators at bay. Okay. So we need a big bull. Hey, Sherry. Nana's Menagerie. Kat asks, how many goats do you have? We have 6 goats. We have 2 males, both neutered, unfortunately, and 4 females. We do need to get another male that is not neutered, but the first one we had was just a pet for me to see if I even liked having goats, and the second one we rescued. So we didn't really have a choice, but we got him for free. So he's the sweetest goat ever, though. I mean, they're so sweet. But I do need to get another bull, or not another bull. I need to get another goat that's a male. I was thinking about getting a pygmy because I have a really small Nigerian dwarf. I mean, she's tiny. She's little itty bitty. She's like a runt. And I would love to see her crossed with a pygmy and to see what that does. So, Sherry, how are you feeling? How's everybody feeling? I feel like I have not been to any lives at all, it feels like. And besides ours, I just feel like I've been missing everybody. Big Bear's not doing their Saturday Night Lives right now, so I'm not going to see anybody. Donald, I would switch that to 5-strand 4-prong barbed wire. Yeah, first we got to get the land. Unpaved Explorer asked, how do you stay motivated and how do you cope with burnout? That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure I know either. I will say that my biggest motivation has always been making sure that I can provide for my dad. Like that, even before Donald, that was my biggest motivation for a lot of the things that I do. So having a goal, one that you're extremely passionate about, is what motivates me. And that, you know, obviously that motivates other people. But having like figuring out a plan, I think is the most important, because you can have a goal and it's like having a ship with a destination. But if you don't know the route to get there, then you're just going to be out to sea. You know what I mean? So figuring out all your baby steps, I think, is important. As far as burnout, I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like I'm about to hit burnout, but honestly, there's not a whole lot for me that I want to do besides work or the farm. Like, there's no social clubs I want to do. We're not going anywhere right now because of everything that's going on in the world. So it's kind of like, I enjoy working and I would rather work than watch a bunch of movies. That's just my nature. And Donald, much to Donald's dismay, probably, because he's a big movie watcher. And sometimes I'll even work while we're watching movies, and I think that annoys him sometimes. But I don't know. I don't really have any tips for burnout except just finding ways to get yourself to be calm. Like for me, being outside. I love being outside. I love seeing my goats and watching the chickens, and that kind of calms me down. But let me catch up on my comments here. Wolf said, we are tied unless my other doe kids in October. I'm so excited for your baby goats. I really want baby goats so bad. My issue with baby goats right now is we don't have proper structure to have kids. So once we get like a little kidding barn, or we need to replace the goat barn right now. So we're holding off until we can do that. You want to see Papa Z milk a cow? I want to say something rude, but all right, I'll say it anyway. Would Papa Z know what end is up? Big Bear Argos just started kidding. Do you have babies yet? Are you going to do a baby goat birthing cam? Because that would be awesome. I would watch that all day long. You can come here and hang out all day with him. I do want to come to Georgia. I still don't know about September. Well, like I was saying earlier, Donald has exactly 3 days off this month. That's it. And he had 2 days off earlier in the month, and then he's got 1 day off this week. And then that's it. We don't know when his next day off is after that. So we're in dire straits at his work right now. Wolves Head, I have so many little goat houses. It's rough with so many pens and houses. I need a barn. Yeah. We're thinking honestly about getting one of those, like Donald may know, I think it was like a 10 by 13 shed or something from Lowe's, just as a temporary structure. It's like $400, I mean, which is still very affordable, but I think that's what we're going to use for now. There's other structures we want to put. Like I want to put like a little mini barn and put some of the rabbits and stuff in it, but I haven't figured out what to do about the rabbits yet. They have like your generic rabbit cages. And I know Joel Salatin has, what does he have? He has like one of those arched buildings, and then he has chickens in it. And then rabbit cages all in the middle, and then the chickens scratch up the rabbit droppings. I wouldn't mind having something like that. I don't have the space for it right now. I don't know. Our lumber price is coming down up there. I honestly don't know because we have not bothered. We have not bothered purchasing anything but cattle panels and T-posts. We kind of ignored the lumber right now because, well, one of the things, we finished the pasture that we want to put the sheep in. We just got to get some pallets to do some gates. And then now we're going to do the goat area, but that's going to be cattle panels too. So we have not bothered really looking at wood, but I guess we need to. That's his winter setup, Crystal. What, I think I missed what you were saying there. Love the hoop houses for chickens and rabbits. It feels like it's a big hoop house. Do you guys know what I'm talking about over on 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙀? I mean, it is. Yeah, I agree. I think it is a hoop house, but it feels like I feel like when I watched it, it was really big, like the size of a house almost. But maybe that's still the same thing. I don't know. I always worried about security in something like that, though. I don't remember what the door looked like. Oh, thank you, Nana's Menagerie. You guys are too kind. I need to update my, whoops, my thingy. So let me update it. Oh, I have to turn it off to update it. So I love that I can do it instantly, though. There we go. That's what she said. Hey, Sunny's Place. Welcome. Deep bedding for garden. We did deep bedding for our goats, and it worked really well. And then I tried to hire like a farmhand in June to clean it out, and he didn't. And then we got too busy to clean it out ourselves. So I need to clean it out. It's very deep right now. And that's the other thing that we're working on. And maybe you guys have ideas on how to do this. And Donald may already have an idea how to do this in mind. I don't know. But we're doing cattle panels around the goat pen. And obviously, any of you that know goats know that they love to waste hay. Hey, Samson Farms. So our issue is, well, what can we do for a goat feeder? We were thinking about doing like if you have a cattle panel, doing like a little wire thing that you stick hay in it. I don't know. And then they can eat through the wire. I feel like maybe that would be a good solution. Wow, there's a lot of people in here tonight. I wasn't expecting this many. Hey, Terry, City Girl Country Heart. But we're thinking about doing something like that to stop the goats from wasting all the hay, I guess, is where I'm at there. There are too many that's what she said jokes. Yeah, I use multiple laundry baskets. How do you hook them up? Like, how do you use the laundry baskets? I'm curious about that. And do they eat the plastic of the laundry baskets? I guess that's what I worry about too, because they like to eat stupid. Well, they're goats. They eat stupid stuff. That's what she said. You guys are too much. Yeah, feel free to hit that thumbs up when you guys come in. I appreciate that. So yeah, we're trying to figure out ways to improve the goat thing. And then we're thinking about buying the 20 acres behind us if it's still for sale. We'll have to see. If we do that, we're going to put maybe a cow or two on it. I don't think we're going to have a lot. I mean, it is only 20 acres. And then honestly, I would like to have hogs. Or not. I don't know if Donald has decided on a breed. We were looking at the American guinea hog for a while there, like something kind of smaller. Because again, we don't have a whole lot of land yet. But I kind of like the small breed stuff. Don't call Donald a cow. I'm glad you're back, Nathan. You've been missed. Let's see. Kat says, I cut bigger holes in the basket and hang them on things around the pen with hay rope. No, they won't eat the plastic. Ew. Yeah, we got some feeder bowls that we hang on the cattle panels with carabiners. And that stops them from tearing those up, but maybe we could do the same with carabiners and laundry baskets. I guess the other question would be protection from rain in a laundry basket hay feeder. I'm not sure how that would work. Not that that wire idea we had would work anyway, but they take a long time to grow out. Okay. Oh, I don't have to worry much about maintaining home, and I got some free time. So is it rude of me to ask, how's Tempe doing? Where's Tempe? Is she good? Like, screw Nathan. No, I'm joking. We just want to know about Tempe. I'm just joking. Big Bear. Oh, they're a little lower here in Emma. Is that Missouri, I think? Temp is perfect. Good. We were actually by Lowe's today, but we just went there to get groceries. So we haven't been in Lowe's in quite a while. You have to move the baskets around during rain in and out of their house or shelter. So I wonder if I could just put it in their shelter then. That way I don't have to mess with it too much. That could be an option. Hey, Little Mountain Life. Welcome, welcome. Christy Betts, welcome. I have not seen the girls that were trespassing last week, by the way. I was surprised. Honestly, we were worried that they were going to try to, like, I don't know, like, you know how people are when they see animals in cages and they just get all kind of butthurt about it and stuff. And, you know, we've got rabbits in cages and chickens in certain cages and haven't heard anything. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they really just were little, I don't know, people that like to go on other people's properties without permission and take pictures. People that like to go out and take pictures of bears and buffalo right next to them and not worry about getting eaten or plowed over. I don't know. That's what I feel like these were like. But so, yeah, we are, I think this week I'm going to work on my elderberry materia medica page. PETA interns. That's what I was worried about, honestly. Donald and I were both really worried about that. Especially around here. I'm on the board for the SPCA. Like, literally. I'm actually about to step down, but I'm on the board. How'd that look? You know, would that affect my business, you know? Seriously, just cheap $7 for a basket that will last 6 months to a year, depending if they try to stand in the basket and rip it down. Which Leia, our one she's not Nigerian jerk. What is she? Donald, what is Leia? The one that looks like Jar Jar Binks. There's a truck going by with his jake brake. Sorry about that. I don't even know if you guys can hear that. So yeah, laundry basket might be what we do. Nubian. Yes, Nubian. How do you know Samson Farms? That's weird. Hedgehog's Homestead. Welcome, welcome. We're just talking about goat feeders and small hog breeds and stuff. My biggest concern with getting hogs, like the American guinea hog is kind of what we were looking at, but I'm not married to any breed in particular. But having enough food, I guess, is my concern. Do you like Nigerian or Nubians better? So I think I like the Nigerians better. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of our goat cam lives. They're kind of funny, but the Nubian, I feel like she's more goofy. She's definitely more stubborn, and she's definitely a fat cow that likes to eat everything. So if you can put up with that, it's great. But she sounds like we named her after Star Wars because she looks like Jar Jar Binks with her little floppy ears. But it's a girl, so we didn't want to name her Jar Jar. We named her Leia. But she sounds like Chewbacca, like that. That's what she sounds like. So she's they look like Jar Jar Binks. But Leia is like, Misa gonna eat that haze. That's what she sounds like Chewbacca when she hollers or whatever, so, or bleats. My first thought was neighborhood kids just loving on your animals. Did you get to go talk to them? I did not. I was actually in the shower when they arrived. Dad talked to them some, and they were actually, I think, either my age or older. I actually had a picture. Do I still have it? Here we go. So there they are. There's Dad with his cane, and you can see the girl in the dark blue dress, and then to the right is, you can see the feet of the other girl. That's where our goats are. So yeah, I don't know, but they just had their phone out the whole time, and they were taking pictures. And then Dad's like, oh, come look at our peacocks. And I'm like, Dad, stop. You can't. There's multiple reasons not to do this. Having animals in cages and them possibly being like PETA terrorists or whatever is one thing, but two, if they fall, like we've got like wire everywhere or a broken tire or something, they fall and they try to sue us. I mean, I don't want to deal with that at all. Get off my property. Not that I want to be nice to people and I want to have good relationships with my neighbors, but they're not my neighbors. They were from Maryland and Virginia. So I assume they were just coming up for the weekend in Gettysburg, which is common here, but I've never been the type of person where I see a farm and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go walk on that farm, take a bunch of pictures without permission, go see all the animals and pet the animals. Like I had an uncle who lives not too far away. He has a farm and he had a donkey on his farm. And one of the neighbor's kids, like donkeys can be mean. And one of the neighbor's kids got in the pen. I guess he was trying to ride it or something. I want to say he was a teenager. And the donkey like grabbed him by the arm and was flinging him around. And I think it was like $1 million lawsuit. And I'm like, but you were on his property and climbed into his fence. But I think I think they lost the lawsuit. Like my uncle lost his insurance on the farm. It was like $1 million lawsuit. And I don't know if it was because he didn't have like a no trespassing sign or something. So now I'm like, well, I got to get some no trespassing signs. Yeah, it's risking your life, city girl. I agree. Fainting goats are funny. I think one of our I think one of our Nigerian dwarfs is part fainting because she gets stiff legs in the back now and then. All the more reason to get hogs if they fall. Yeah. My number one bucket list is visiting Gettysburg National Park. I reckon I will stay there for at least a week. If you do, let me know. I'll tell you all the cool places to eat. I don't know much about the battlefields. I know where some cool stuff is. We have a battlefield 2 doors down, so you'll definitely probably visit that place. It used to be a Confederate Civil War hospital, and apparently you can still see the blood stains on because it's an old barn on the barn floor, so that's kind of cool. Christy Bet says, and no, down here you holler out to the house to let them know you're on the property. Yeah, like I know Joel Salatin allows people on his property, and I don't even think you have to like call, I think. But Gay Brown, no. Me, no. I don't like people like in mass in general. Having people just show up at my house, no. No thanks. Nancy, welcome. My delicious friend. She walks like Jar Jar too. Yeah, she has like this weird, like, you know how Jar Jar from Star Wars has like this weird little gait where he's just, this is like a stupid demonstration of it, but her ears just kind of do that when she's walking. I think I actually do kind of like Nubians, but I think the Nigerian dwarfs being my first goats, that's why I favor them more. Gettysburg was an amazing and tragic battle. So many key places to visit. Little Round Top will be my first stop. That's a good one. They have that little castle up there, and that's not too far away either. I mean, if you know the general layout of Gettysburg, like as a whole, it's got the center square, and then it's got like 5 different roads going out of the center square. We're on one of those main roads, maybe 1.5 miles. So we're not far. Yeah, Christy Bates, that's a good point. Joel has a lot of people that watch over his property. So, I mean, technically, I'm almost always here and Dad's always here. So I guess I technically am watching over the property, but, you know, I'm trying to run my business. You know, I'll check every now and then, make sure Dad's okay, or make sure the goats aren't out, because for a little while we're getting out, but... Big Bear says, I know Philly's kind of far away, but have you heard any crazy things happening? I have not. I probably have some contacts up there I can ask. Philly's about 2 hours northeast of us. I've driven through and eaten at a restaurant there, but I've never actually been there. It's kind of a goal to go there and look at some of the historical sites, but I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're hearing, if I even want to bother. I try to stay out of the big cities, honestly. And even here, I feel like Gettysburg's a very small town, but we're still very busy with the tourist industry, that I just kind of want to go more remote, like maybe North Adams County or something, Yeah, Philly. What's interesting about Philly, like Philly and Pittsburgh are both a part of Pennsylvania, but Philly very much consider themselves like the Texas of Pennsylvania. Like, we are our own independent entity. We are not part of your big conglomerate state. And we're not even technically a state. Pennsylvania is a commonwealth. It's not a state. So Pennsylvania is weird in itself. And Philly is like, you know, we're not Pennsylvanian. We're Philly. Which, you know, I guess great, have town pride, but it's still a little weird. Did I miss any other comments? I think I'm good. Kentucky is still a Commonwealth too. Yeah, there's a couple. I think I don't remember which ones all are, but it would make sense that Kentucky was. Food shortages and food riots. Well, I'm not feeling that down here in Gettysburg yet. But that doesn't mean, I mean, it could be. I think in the larger cities, you're going to see it more than anything, because I feel like us as homesteaders, I feel like we're usually pretty well stocked in general. Like Donald and I have barely touched our COVID supplies that we had stored, like maybe a little bit. So it wouldn't be much for me to just replenish that already. We butcher our own chickens. We grow our own vegetables. We can. So we're not as prone to doing a run on the grocery store, whereas people in the city, I feel like maybe they would. So if there is something going on, I feel like a city like that obviously would be doing it first. Hello, Thorhaven Farm. Welcome. Little Mountain Life. Who all has their tickets to HOA? So we have our tickets, but we're probably not going in person. It will depend on Donald's schedule, but I also have some feels about HOA administration. That's the political correct way to say it, I guess. I may attend the virtual simply because we've already got our tickets, and I assume they're going to do virtual again anyway. So, but it would probably be my last year having much to do with HOA. I think I'm going to focus on the Homestead Life Conference and doing all the little small things that people are doing. HOA is still the closest. I had such a good time when we were there in 2019, right before I was put in the hospital. We had such a good time. It's what inspired us to start a channel. But there's definitely some issues that I have with the way that HOA is being run. So, but since I already had my ticket from last year that was moved over to this year, I'll probably just attend the virtual one. Yeah, part of my feels are the same as your feels, Big Bear. And I think probably the same as Two Families feels. So I got to support my crew. What are we talking about? Jersey girls. What? Who's a Jersey girl? Wait, is City Girl a Jersey girl? I didn't know that. See, I learned all this, something new every day. James 𝙬𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙖, what is up? Man, look at all you guys hanging out with me today. I'm in my feels a little bit there too. We usually don't get this many people in. So you guys are just awesome. Giving me a good evening here by myself. Well, I'm not by myself. My dad's in the house, but with Donald not here, I wasn't sure we would get much, but you guys are kind of hanging out. I love that. Yeah, and definitely hit that thumbs up as you come in. That'd be great. See, I grew up in, people think Maryland's not country, but I grew up in very much Maryland country. So I've never really lived in a big city. I would say the closest I lived in a big city was when I was living on the naval base in Norfolk, Virginia with my first husband. And we lived in a place where they actually would not deliver pizza after 7 p.m. because of the crime. So I did not go out much at all. I used to go shopping like early in the morning because I didn't like the neighborhood. It was very scary. I was there by myself because my husband was overseas on tours because he was in the Navy. So we feel your feels. Wait, was that too? Sunny's place. I'm going to miss you guys being there. I would love to go because literally HOA is 2 hours south of us. And we had a blast going there. So yeah, I wish we could, but I don't know that Donald's schedule is going to allow. Now we did talk to, and I mentioned this earlier in the live, but we did talk to the Gettysburg plant that he interviewed with 2 weeks ago, and they haven't made a decision yet. So we never know. They could make a decision in a week, but it took them 3 months to start interviews. So I don't know. And he could be in a better place where he could take off, but we'll see. Yeah, I can sympathize there too, Sunny's place, about fields and other conferences. It's hard. Like, honestly, I feel like I should just start my own conference. Like, where would be a good place? Somewhere that's between Georgia and Texas and Pennsylvania. Y'all should just come here, right? Your brother lives 15. Oh, that's convenient. 15 minutes from HOA. We were Navy. A lot of the surrounding areas around some bases aren't safe. Yeah, that's what my experience was with the Navy. And being a Navy, honestly, I love all the branches of the military. Obviously, I love that they make that sacrifice for our country. But I feel like a lot of times the Navy wives have to deal with the loneliness a lot because of all the leave overseas on these ships. And that's being alone in a place like that was difficult. And I was only 19 at the time. So we had a great time when we were at HOA. Yeah, we did too. I learned a lot. I got some elderberry plants. I got some good stuff. I didn't like the food situation was a little funky, but what food we got was really good. Yeah, that's the other issue that we have, Kat, is traveling with animals is hard. And actually, one of the things I've been thinking about doing, since I'm not really going anywhere anytime soon, is offer farm sitting services. Why don't I add that to our website and be like, yeah, we'll farm sit your animals so you can go do stuff and just make a little bit of that side money. People need that kind of stuff. New homesteading expo in the Ozarks. Oh, that sounds interesting. That would be near Donald's family, so we can maybe visit some of them. We just need to bust the border and come see you guys. I need to get my passport. Like that's because I need to go. One of these days, I'm going to go to Norway or Sweden and see the fjords and enjoy life out that way. So I need to get a passport regardless. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that there's certainly room for more homestead conferences. I mean, just because there's the HOA and there's Homesteaders Life and all this other stuff, there's no reason that there can't be more. And they could be structured differently. Personally, I like the in-person conferences more. I don't really intend to go to any big in-person events the rest of this year, given everything that's going on and having to take care of Dad and all this other stuff. But I do own a Ford. It's sitting outside right now. It's a little rusty right now, though, but Oh, is Australia's border still? See, I haven't been paying attention to much of these other countries. Yeah, North Texas would be fun. Maybe you and Yellow Rose Homestead and the Naked Gardeners could coordinate something. August 27th and 28th. Yeah, we won't make it this year if it's those dates. Donald doesn't have off at all, except for Wednesday. So, oh, you're saying a Ford isn't a Ford truck. I'm talking about a 𝙎𝙤𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙖. Yes, I would love to have some friends that like we do a trip to Norway. That would be awesome. I actually have my friend in Sweden I want to visit too. Maybe we could get on her YouTube channel. She's only got like 4 million fucking excuse my language, 4 million followers. Guys, I'll be honest, I cuss a lot in person. I try really hard not to on my channel, but sometimes they slip out. That's a good idea, Big Bear. Having learning centers instead of conferences. Isn't Eustace Conway, doesn't he run one, like a turtle something? I know there's like a firefly gathering I've always wanted to go to where they teach you like wild crafting skills. It's like I think it's more than a week. I want to say it's like no, I think it is a week. I would love to do some more wild crafting type conferences and stuff. And then, but yeah, I agree. Like education centers, I think it would be a good thing. There's no reason that all of us can't do that. Turtle Island. Yes. CD knows. He's in your neck of the woods. That's one of the things I really wanted to be at HOA 4 was to meet Eustace. Obviously meet Joel again. I love when he talks. He's just a very good speaker. And then Susan, I don't remember her last name. The one that does the Weston Price stuff, the bone broth. I can't think of the name of that book. One of you guys would know. I love the whole concept behind nourishing traditions. Right? I think. You host a survival school. Well, now I would definitely want to come up your way. I wonder how far you guys are from us. That's a good question. Oh, Hand-Hewn Farm. That sounds fun. I saw their episode when Justin Rhodes was doing the travel across the country where he was showing their work with the hog butchering class. Greg Judy is definitely one that Donald wants to meet. He loves Greg Judy. And honestly, we love Gabe Brown too. We just don't think his course is worth it. We spent like $500 on this course and everything in it is just videos that you can learn everything on YouTube. So we're just kind of like, well, this didn't teach us anything. So, I mean, the knowledge is good. It's just not worth it for the course. So. Since we're at the kind of the end of the live here, I do want to give a shout out. I tried to do one each live. I did not prepare any graphics this time for it, though. Again, this live was last minute and almost didn't happen. But because we have a new subscriber, I want to give a shout out to Nana's Menagerie. I don't know if Sherry is still in here, but since she is our new member, I'm going to grab her link real quick if I can. I might just have to look it up real quick. I'm going to give her a shout out for joining as our newest channel member. So this month, I'm going to be giving away for our channel members. Here's your channel. Our elderberry page of the Materia Medica. There's a new herbal essentials magazine I'm going to hand out to you guys. And then, of course, you'll get our newsletter. And then I'm going to have Donald put together some tips and stuff to go into the newsletter for soil building. So if you're into soil building at all, definitely worth it to be a part of the newsletter and stuff like that. But definitely check out Nana's Menagerie. This is the other part of Two Family Homestead. Sherry was doing her own independent channel before. She's been dealing with some personal stuff. So, you know, we always want to support our channel members, especially, but our friends too, and people that have just been here for us this whole time. So we have not shouted out Nana's Menagerie before. So if you could check out her channel, give her a subscribe. Sherry's got all kinds of cool knowledge and we just love her to death. So let me see my last comments real quick before I start ending things. I think there's a difference between workshops and conferences. One is focused on training and hands-on. The other is networking and intros. Yes, I agree there. Workshops are a great idea, but I see the deeper benefit of a learning center where you can learn things in sections over a longer period of time. Yes, and you're not rushed into a conference environment, getting a hotel. Well, I mean, you'll still have to deal with hotel rooms and stuff, but it feels like, you know, you've got this set time, you know, you've got this huge schedule you want to accommodate, and you know, I have to miss this thing because I want to do this thing, and it can be a little chaotic. Yes, I have heard this too, that they don't really give a lot of times, because a lot of what we do is not something that you can just Google necessarily. I mean, you probably could, and obviously we all put out content that's beneficial for educational purposes, but there's nothing like hands-on learning. I'm a huge hands-on learning type person, so. Also check out Hickory Croft Farm rabbit soup video. Ooh, I've got some rabbit in the freezer that I need to use up. I was actually going to do fajitas tonight, but we ate pizza instead because it was card night. So awesome, guys. Thank you for making this a really fun live and everything. I was not expecting this. Maybe I should do last minute lives more often. Maybe I get more people like, oh yeah, hey, it's Crystal. What's up? So one of the things I did talk about a couple weeks ago that I'm going to highlight it again here in the description below, there is a link to Homesteaders Hub Facebook group. And in this group, it's basically you can come in and advertise anything you want regarding your homestead. But what I'm going to do is we've talked about creating a, what was it called? Pony Express for homesteading supplies. And I think that may become more important than ever. And I think Jason will probably agree with me here. As all these prices of things are going up in certain places, How to Grow said that cattle panels down her way were $100 a piece, whereas here they're $22 a piece. But figuring out a way to get supplies at reasonable prices to different homesteads. So that's going to be a new section on the Homesteaders Hub as well. I have started setting up some back-end stuff for that. My goal is to have it launched in September, especially since my projects are kind of winding down right now. So if you have not joined that group, Homesteaders Hub Facebook group below, definitely do so. There's also a Discord if you like Discord. If you want to kind of get off Facebook, Discord does not have the restrictions that Facebook does. It's more like a categorized chat room. Check out Discord. There's a Discord for Homesteaders Hub too. And it's a lot more private. So if that's something that you're interested in, check that out as well. But I'm going to start wrapping things up. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I'm so ecstatic that you guys came out and gave us these thumbs ups. And even my most dedicated fans that gave me the 2 thumbs down, like I legit love you guys for being as dedicated as you are. So thank you so much. Thank you to my channel members, those that have the blue goat. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next Sunday, and I'm going to work on getting you a blog out this week. So thanks so much, everybody. Take care, stay safe, grow things, and be independent. That's the best advice I can give. See you guys next week.